Get ready, New York, because some big changes are on the horizon for 2026. We're talking new laws that are going to impact everything from your wallet to your daily commute. So we're going to break down exactly what you need to know to be ready.
So, the big question is, how are these new statewide rules actually going to affect you? Well, it turns out in a lot of ways. We're talking about your wallet, your car, and hey, even your next takeout order. Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, let's talk about something we all care about: money. There are some new policies coming down the line that are set to give a little update to the finances of a lot of New Yorkers, especially if you're a parent or a minimum wage earner. So, what's changing?
Well, for starters, the state's minimum wage is getting a nice little bump up to $16 an hour. But here's the really interesting part. From now on, that rate is going to be tied to inflation, which means we could see it go up automatically in the future to keep up with the cost of living. And it's not just about the hourly wage. Families with kids are getting a major boost, too, thanks to an enhanced child tax credit. For little ones under 4, that credit is jumping way up to a full $1,000. And for older kids, it's going from $330 up to $500 per child. That's a big deal.
So what's the thinking behind these financial boosts? Well, this quote from Governor Kathy Hochul really sheds some light on it. It seems the state's goal is pretty clear: to help ease some of that financial pressure on parents and show direct support for New York families.
All right, let's shift gears now. We've talked about your finances. Let's move over to your dashboard. The state is rolling out some stricter rules for drivers, and you're going to want to pay attention to these because they could have a real impact on your driving record.
Okay, this is a big one. You know those points you get on your license for a traffic violation? Well, they're about to stick around for a lot longer. The old rule was 18 months. The new rule, a full 2 years.
And it's not just about how long the points last, it's also about what can get you points in the first place. The list of violations is getting longer. Things that might have just been a warning or a fix-a-ticket before, like having a taillight out, that can now add points to your license. Same goes for things like illegal U-turns or failing to move over for an emergency vehicle.
So what does this all mean in the real world? Well, according to Valerie Puma over at AAA, it's pretty simple. When you have more violations that carry points and those points last longer, well, it just becomes a whole lot easier for drivers to hit that threshold where they start facing serious penalties, like getting their license suspended.
Okay, so we've covered your money and your car. Now let's talk about some new environmental rules that are going to change a few of our everyday habits. You know, things we do without even thinking, like ordering lunch or checking into a hotel.
Yep, 2 super common items are being targeted by new state laws designed to cut down on pollution and waste. So get ready, because your takeout containers and those little hotel amenities are going to look a bit different starting in 2026.
Here's the breakdown. First, the state is expanding its ban on that polystyrene foam. Yep, styrofoam. So you should be seeing a lot fewer of those foam takeout containers. Second, hotels are being told no more to those tiny single-use plastic bottles of shampoo and conditioner. The new law actually bans plastic amenity bottles smaller than 12 ounces.
So, let's pull all this together. What does it all mean for you? From your paycheck to your traffic tickets to the plastic you use, it's clear that 2026 is shaping up to be a year of some pretty big policy shifts here in New York. Let's quickly recap the main takeaways.
So, in a nutshell, here's what you really need to remember. First, your wallet could see a bit of a boost, thanks to that higher minimum wage and the bigger child tax credits. Second, your driving habits are going to be under a microscope with tougher, longer-lasting penalties. And finally, you'll start seeing a lot less single-use plastic out in the world.
So you've got laws trying to give more financial support, enforce safer roads, and push for a greener environment. From wallets to highways, New York is definitely changing. And it leaves us with one big question to think about. Will all these new rules actually add up to create a better state for everyone?